guys, welcome back to Clubhouse Kids. So today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what was in my homeschool kids science box over the last couple weeks. We just finished learning about the study of ecology. So all these activities I'm going to show you are all about ecology. So I am in my office today, so if the volume sounds a little bit different, I usually like to record these homeschool videos in my homeschool room, but my kids are actually doing school right now. But I wanted to get this video done during the day instead of trying to find time to do it tonight. So I'm sitting in my office. That's why you see just a ridiculous amount of banker boxes behind me. If you watch my other videos, I like to store a lot of my homeschool curriculum and daycare materials in banker boxes. And so my office kind of gets overtaken with towers of banker boxes. So that is what is going on behind me. If you are interested in what my kids did for our study of ecology, stick around. So I will start with our books. So I did have a pretty good amount of books on ecology, and so the first one is called Life in the Grasslands, and then I have Life in the Forest, Life in the Rainforest, Life in the Desert, and Life in the Tundra. And I think I bought these as a pack through Scholastic, but they are really, really nice nonfiction books about each one of these habitats. And so this was, the kids loved these books. Another one I have is called Animal Homes. And it's just another nonfiction book about lots of different homes of different animals. This one is the National Geographic Little Kids, and it's the first big book of animals. And this is actually the science book I used with my first son. This was actually our science book for his kindergarten year. And we learned about all different kinds of different animals that year, and the kids still just absolutely love this book. So this book has gotten many, many years out of it. The next book is just another nonfiction book about just ecology and what ecology is and the study of ecosystems. This one is excellent. And it's a really short read, but it just talks about the ABCs of ecology, ecology in history, ecosystems, protecting the ecosystems, and then ecologists at work today. So this was a really excellent book. This is also from Scholastic. This is another one just called Planet Earth, Animals and Their Prey. This one is What Are Food Chains and Webs? Many Biomes, One Earth. And then I have an eyewitness book on just ecology. So the first activity we did was this activity here, and this was just teaching the kids on why we protect our earth. This activity is actually from Oriental Trading, and so there's different boxes. So this one is cardboard, aluminum, compost, glass, paper, and plastic. And then in the tub here, just a bunch of different materials. And so they pick something like they have a carrot, and so this would go into the compost, and they just feed it into the compost box like that. We have a ketchup bottle, so they would put that into the glass container here. Or if you guys have plastic ketchup bottles, you could put it in the plastic, just depending on what you buy. And then you just go through each of these, so the kids would separate them, and it's just teaching them how to recycle, how to take care of our earth, different ways that we can reuse our materials and stuff like that. So this is an excellent activity. They really did enjoy that. And then I have these little National Geographic cards, and they're just flashcards here. And actually what they ended up doing with this is they played a game, and so they would take, two of them would take half the cards, and then they would flip two down, and they would say like who would win a battle, and they ended up playing that game a lot. But then they could also just flip through and look at different animals, and it kind of identifies the animal, and then it says if the animal's a herbivore, an omnivore, or a carnivore. And so then we got to talk about what each of those mean. And then another activity, this is one's from Teacher Pay Teacher, so I will try to find it. It was just some posters. So we have our forest habitat, wetlands habitat, grasslands habitat, and then a desert habitat. And then they would separate the cards into each one of those habitats and then read about each of these. So then they have some other cards where they, you know, have different animals that would be in each of those habitats. So that was a fun activity as well. And then the last activity that I had for this unit was I made little boxes that the kids could play in for some habitats. So this one is grasslands, and these containers are just from the Dollar Tree. And then in here I have a piece of brown felt. I have some rocks. And then I have just different animals that you would find in the grasslands. So little lion, giraffe, zebras, just all kinds of stuff. And so if they wanted to set up a grassland habitat, they could play in this one. I made one for the wetlands. And in here I just did a bunch of like colored rocks that I got from the Dollar Tree. Like some blue rocks are in here. I also threw some other just like river rocks. And then in this one, you're going to have just more wetland animals. Fish, a little alligator. And so that is that one. And then I made one for the forest. And in the forest, I have some trees and some more felt for the grass. I did put some green rocks in this one, and then a bunch of different forest animals. All of these little animals, I'm trying to think what they were called, like where I got them. They are like these little tubes. I will try to link those below, like where I got these little animals, but especially my son, he would just play for hours in one of these. He loves little animals and setting up these little habitats. And then the last one is the desert, and I have some sand in here. And then I have a cactus, a couple little rocks, and then some desert animals. So they loved playing in these. I would have to tell them you have to read a couple books first and then you can play. They chose to play in the habitats probably more than any of the other activities, but they did like the recycling activity and then separating these. But so I really didn't have too many activities this time for them to do besides the books and then playing in these little habitats. But we really enjoyed this unit. They had a great time. They learned a lot. I'm looking forward to showing you guys what our next unit is. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.